Alright, we're playing League. You can see it's against yurikamome. It's a little early for me. So, it being a little early for me isn't really a issue. The bigger issue this morning is that I made a absolutely catastrophically bad waffle for breakfast. Only ate I don't know, 2/3 of what I normally do because it was so bad. Thank God I yesterday when I forgot to feed the sourdough starter enough, so I had to use some basically old refrigerated discard, and I don't think that had enough life in it to make things good this morning. And then I guess that also probably didn't sit enough. But anyways, enough about why this match is going to go poorly. Well, this board has everything you could ever need for a horn turn. It's kind of lacking in trashing, but there's draw, some village-ish stuff. So you're probably going after the horn turn. I guess we're going to start Pageant, Hound. I'm not too into really any of the treasure stuff. Just because I feel like you don't really get places. I mean, you want to stay I guess as without excess stuff in the deck as possible, and so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we randomly hit 5 here. This is, I guess it's a den. That's going to be our first order of business is get our cycling going. I'm trying to think what comes next after den. It's probably not horn. I'm just going to point out this is an amazing draw. It's probably not horn. Just because you won't be able to gain things you want, namely the 5 costs. But at the same time, I don't know. What else can you buy productively? Maybe Royal Carriage, maybe Longship. Okay, so this will give us an opportunity to buy something other than Den, maybe. Or we might not. We might just keep getting these things until we're drawing deck, and then we'll have enough money to maybe buy I don't know, Longship Carriage. Yeah, right now Horn's doing 4, which is no good at all. Yeah, I think we'll actually just keep taking these. I can monkey the Hound at some point when I have more than enough money, right? And then go from there. Right now I just kind of really want to, get some of these things. Maybe it's a little excessive, but what are we doing, right? Now probably we're going to move to a Carriage. I think that probably comes next. We might also just take the last den. I'm not sure. I don't know how much money I'm actually going to be producing right here. I have the 3 coffers, but yeah, let's just take the last den. Let's get on to the real game. So I think Carriage is probably coming next. We need that to kind of put the horn stuff in. You might actually just go after provinces. That seems actually plausible, and then I'm actually kind of in trouble. Because, like, you have money and I don't. There's Legionary, so you can, I guess, sort of shut stuff down? I don't know. Maybe you take, like, a Sculptor and start just doing Fool's Gold stuff. I don't think so. I think getting into the Horde's probably a good plan. We'll see what this is, though. It'll be an interesting buy to evaluate what's happening in this game. Okay, it's a Longship. So yeah, I'm gonna take Carriage here. I'm having a little bit of trouble playing all my dens. Just gonna point out, which I guess isn't like totally unexpected. It's just annoying. Okay. Well, I don't know, like, do we just take Horn here? I think we want to keep the Carriage matted because we want to really make sure that, you know, we do get to our 5 on the Horn next turn, right? Or when we get it. If we see it again, we can just take another Hound and, like, start picking up the Longships, but I do wanna make sure that, like, when the good things start happening, I can make them happen. I guess that's gonna be 2 dens up there since you only played 1 last turn. You were carrying 3 estates. I mean, I kind of like where I'm at. It's just, you know, I like having the Hound rather than the silver. It's just, there doesn't seem to be a lot of separation, even with that. Okay, so this will be Longship. Get our 3 dens out. We have Hound in there, so we should be hitting 5 off this Horn. I guess you do too. You found your silver, which stinks. I don't like when that kind of thing happens. Like you definitely should have worse draws than I do. I'm just gonna say. This could be a buy. I guess it probably should be. There's another den in there that I kind of have to go find, right? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because otherwise next turn's looking pretty ugly. What do we want? Like more Longship? I could go like Horn Longship here. I'm obviously a little lacking in draw for next turn, but I don't really know what else to do. We could take another Carriage, but I'm just kind of gonna have faith in the deck that it keeps moving along okay. Put a little bit more power into it, which is maybe a little bit ambitious, but no, we got like a unbelievably good draw. We're gonna go Hound first. We might want to monkey this Longship. Yeah, no, we're not gonna monkey the Longship because we only found 1 den. We can take 2 Longships here. Maybe another Carriage. I will point out that I'm kind of lacking in unique things in my deck. But at the same time, like, what else are you gonna do? Gotta build up draw, right? wonder if I can use a Sculptor. I don't know exactly how we want to get up to 8. Like, I'm happy to have the two horns, but I don't know. This is going to be another horn buy. I guarantee it. Oh, yikes. Alright. Well, there's enough stuff in there to draw. I guess we take another Hound. Maybe? Maybe we take like a Monument? I'm not sure how to build up from this, like... I could also just take a Silver, if I'm thinking like I need to get more... Well, no, a Sculptor can do that, like, when I actually need it. So I think this is going to be Hound and then another Horn. And we'll hope that we draw, like, some sort of reasonable amount, which I guess we will. I mean, we have the 3 dens out, we have a Longship, we have 2 Carriages, we have a Hound. It'll be okay. So this turn I probably want a Sculptor just to have like some, moderate ability to be hitting province with the horns. I don't know if I can just like buy a province. Like, we're getting up to a serious number of coffers here, where I'm unconvinced that like building a little bit more does me anything. I guess I have like 3 horns and, well, some number of buys, so you might be a little bit hesitant to be lowering piles anymore. Although my ability to actually draw enough for that's pretty weak. I'm gonna say maybe the turn after this one we'll have like a ton of incoming Longships. I'm thinking a province buy this turn might be in order. I have to be a little bit careful here about Longships. Wonder how bad like a Legionary attack would hurt. Okay, this will actually put things in range. If I can draw enough horns, right? If I can draw enough horns quickly enough at that. I have the extra action here, so I can actually wait on calling the carriages. Okay, we can no longer wait on calling the carriages. Okay, we can seriously no longer wait on calling the carriages. Like, this just has to draw here, right? Do I take a tie? How much do you have out for draw? Maybe. Well, we don't know if that's going to be possible. It's not. It's not going to be possible at all. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking province buy here. The question is, like, with what? I mean, I think we should play this Longship and just, like, max out our draw for next turn. So we want a Sculptor. Maybe I take a duchy off of this one. I don't really want to reduce my gains. I guess you're in about the same position where it's like 5, so it's not like the most easy thing ever. So I guess I'll take a carriage here. I'm going to be light on the village next turn, but we're going to say that's okay because there's a Longship in the starting hand. So yeah, let's take a carriage and then we'll buy province and hope that 5 starting draw is enough, or plus 10 starting draw is enough. I definitely think I could be losing here. Like there's a decent possibility that you find all 3 horns and you're able to put out 2 buys and you're able to like get stuff. The fact that you are not playing a royal carriage makes me think that this may not be the case, though. I guess you need like 3 buys, Sculptor. It seems tough for you to get there, definitely not impossible. But I'm not sure like what else I could be doing that turn, right? And I mean, there's still like, you know, these 9 cards for 3 horns to be living in. So, what else to do? I mean, if you get lucky, you get lucky. There's no ways about that. When you sculpt a Fool's Gold, I'm assuming you're taking some provinces off your horns. If you sculpt anything else, I assume that's not the case. Okay. I'm guessing we might see some provinces off the horns then. So I think that gets you to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, you actually didn't need the Fool's Gold to do that. It could have been a silver, and probably should have been. You do not have a lot of draw coming out. Well, we'll see how many dens there are in those 6 cards. I mean, there's at least 3, right? What could you be looking at that isn't 3 estates and 3 dens? It should be a silver. I agree. Not to worry. I figured that one out. I guess you can be looking at horns. That's the other option in those cards. These can get provinces, just don't know. I mean, that would reduce your gain power. Is I guess one of the things you're looking at here. I'm gonna look at like a win on estates. Longship in the estates. A monkey, so like if we have enough carriages, it seems maybe possible. Emphasis on maybe. There's going to be 2 provinces. That has us again looking more at the estate pile. I wonder if I should have taken... Well, no, we didn't have the tie last turn, remember? We didn't draw all 3 horns. wonder if there is a tie at some point, but I think I'm going to run into a problem here where I haven't been accumulating coffers quite as readily, so I may have some issues. But also, like, I'm looking at this from my side, and I'm kind of seeing that you're probably not drawing very well next turn, right? Both your Hound and your Sculptor are living here. You'll have one Longship and however many dens is in these 4 cards, which, you know, I'm assuming isn't 4. It's 2. Okay. We may end up just having a win here. Let's see what we draw. Just to, like, make absolutely sure. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the silver will be 8. Yeah, okay, so this will just end up winning. I don't know that, like, you could have done a lot about it. Like, your next turn is likely just trash, so it may have been the way to go to just say, see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I had the better open. It was like the 4-3. It's not like you did anything particularly wrong in it. It's just, it was the better open. Alright, here we have Faded Smithy, which means it's going to go on top of the deck, which means we're definitely opening it. The question is, what are we opening it with? Is it silver? Is it Astrolabe? We'll see. Going to be one of those two, surely. There's kind of an advantage to Astrolabe where, like, you kind of keep your deck a little bit smaller, a little bit longer, which means you get to keep playing Smithy every turn a little bit longer. Though we're probably just buying another Smithy, so maybe that happens, like, immediately anyways. Astrolabe also gives you a little bit of coin to be able to buy your villas, which is really nice. That is towards the start of your turn, right? Let's get a blanket. I'm also going to go turn off a light that I'm noticing is on and really doesn't need to be, because I like to save electricity, right? Actually, 2 lights. I started this match in the dark. Or, no, I started this match when it was dark outside, so I had the light in this room on, but now it's, I don't know, just light enough that I can feel sleepy in front of my computer instead of having that light on, right? I mean, I really wanted to get this match in this weekend, because next weekend we have a time switch here and not in Japan. So the time that this match started would now be 6 a.m. after next weekend. I guess, like, after midway through next weekend. Which, look, is probably a touch early for me. But I'd rather do them now than nighttime, although I guess with the time switch that could be like 4. It's still a little shaky. I'll do like a single ladder game at 4 and then like go, bleh, I feel like garbage. and don't want to embarrass myself by trying to record any more stuff. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to take an Astrolabe here, with the idea that the extra coin can help a little bit with buying Villa on future turns, right? Eventually, you know, we're going to want silver because there's a merchant present, but right now, I'm feeling like let's get this thing that takes up a little bit less of the deck. I don't even know if we'll have merchants. I mean, it seems likely, just because there's like plus buy, and at some point you'll be hitting 3 and whatever. Yeah. And, okay, so there's... Yeah, I guess we're balling for something. Question is what? I'm thinking that, like, there's 3 coins in there, so there's a decent chance that we reach Villa even with a ball. So maybe I can take another Smithy. I don't, like, the thing about taking another Smithy, though, is that, it would be kind of iffy to be top decking. Right. So now I'm actually thinking I'd be much happier with a silver than the Astrolabe, but whatever. I guess we could also just, like, take a tragic hero straight up. That seems okay. It might actually be better than the Smithy. The other thing I could do is I could do, like, Smithy plus Conspirator to actually bottom deck the second one. We'll go with that. So put a Smithy on top. And then we'll draw through enough of these. Will we actually draw through enough of these? We'll draw like 3 of them. No, I have to top deck both. Or I guess I can top deck one and not do anything with the other. Because I'm only going to get 3 cards into this. I was really planning to, you know, see the Astrolabe, as opposed to, you know, not seeing it like I didn't, but it's okay. See, 8's kind of excessive, just saying. Like, you'd be so much happier with an Astrolabe here. You also bottom decked 3 estates, which actually kind of stinks for you, because, like, this thing that I did where I, you know, took second Smithy looks a lot less viable over there right now. There's a good chance that I draw something dead and I'm sad. Just gonna point out. The hope is to hit at least 5 this turn, but there's a decent chance that I, like, draw Smithy dead and not able to do anything useful with it. Which point, I don't know, maybe we get a Changeling? Maybe we trash something for an animal fair? If I miss 5, that is 4 this turn, I'm probably hitting 5 next turn, so... Well, that's not even true if I don't see the Conspirator. Anyways, there's bad things that can happen here. We will ignore them and not try to anticipate them. Alright, you do the same. You'll probably do, in fact, exactly the same thing that I did. Okay, this is amazing. So there's Smithy in there. There is a Conspirator. We're going to have 3 coppers with that. Plausibly, I take another Astrolabe. I'm thinking... I could take another Smithy, but I'm kind of off those. No, am I? The reason I'm thinking about another Astrolabe is because, like, we're looking at next turn and we're seeing, like, I can definitely buy Villa. The reason for a Smithy would be, like, we're going to buy Villa and we're going to get through more of the deck. Alright, I'm sold. We can top deck both Smithies, it'll be amazing. Get through as much of the deck as possible. Okay. What are we doing now? Conspirator, Astrolabe. Next turn's probably not drawing amazingly. I guess I could also go like Dead Villa, Conspirator. Actually kind of like that plan. Is balling better? If I ball for Villa Conspirator, what happens? Oh, I shouldn't have actually played that Smithy. That was bad. If I ball for Villa Conspirator, I take like... well, it'll at least be neutral. I could take a Hound. I don't think so. Alright, we're going to top deck one of these and leave the others wherever. I mean, this is why I wanted the second Villa. I just could have executed that better and had, like, a better buy right here. Right. I could have had a much better buy right there had I not played that Smithy when I did. I could have had like a... I mean, I could have played the Conspirator, basically, is what it comes down to. So that was just wrong. Just wrong. Here, I guess feeling the need to press another Villa into the deck as I was. I'm definitely a little bit concerned about like how much money we're making. So this will be ball for something. Maybe Villa... Villa what? Smithy? I don't really feel like I need another one. Like, what am I trying to buy here? Could go like a mill. Like, we do have estates lying around. And it does give an action that isn't, like, completely contingent on everything. And now maybe something like Tragic Hero Astrolabe. Just to, you know, have that starting coin. One Smithy on top. I don't really want to bottom deck the others. Okay, this is looking duddish. Very duddish. Not unexpected, but at the same time, I really didn't need to top deck a second Smithy. I mean, this is why we have the Astrolabe. We only need to draw 2 coins with the Smithy, but how are we going to do that even? Maybe this mill would rather be a silver. Not good. Not good. I don't know at what point we just, like, empty Villa. Probably soon. You have 1 Villa in there. But you have, like, Villa Smithy, so it's not a terrible hand. Right? There's also, I guess, an Animal Fair. We may end up very light on Village if this turn doesn't work. Which could be bad, but I mean the decks are going to be unstable once Villa runs. Is my theory anyways, so that's why we want to maybe pack a little bit more like mill into the deck before then. Just because like right now we're looking at having a bunch of terminals in a deck that doesn't have any trash in it and a non-drawing village. Like this is not going to be a functional deck later. It's not. Factually. So the question is, between now and then, what? Oh, that was a freaking miracle. Okay. Total and complete miracle. I'd actually rather not have a changeling. We're going to want these last two villas this turn. Let's just take them now. Okay. I wonder if we just take like 6 mils or 4 mils. It puts things a little bit on edge to where, like, I don't know, can you hit 15? Probably not. But it's also where I'm looking at this deck and going like, how am I doing anything with it? I guess if we think we need a little bit more draw, we could do like 2 mils and a tragic hero, or 2 mils and 2 smithies. Or like, I don't know what else there could be. So this could be like mill smithy. Again, we'll put 1 smithy. Oh, I could put... No, I just want to put the 1 on top. There's a villa there, which is nice, but... Even so, it's like... Let's not find out hard ways. Okay, you ditched your... Oh, things are getting low. That's really, really aggressive. That's kind of like a you're not drawing kind of move, and I'm going to ugly this out and somehow win it. Whereas I just hit 9, which probably should be a province. Yeah. There's no win being missed here. Now it should just be a province. Province when you can. There is no way for these decks to like work well consistently. So I mean, that's part of the reason, I guess, for having the animal fairs is, you know, we're not drawing anyway, so let's have something that produces 4 coins, right? It's reasonable. It's reasonable. You can take a mill. That doesn't actually like really change the facts of the game, right? Because like it still ends up being that I have to double ball for like Smithy estate to win. So like this mill is totally okay to buy. I see a cons blast turn. No, I just saw mills. Oh, I might just hit 10 here also. Ooh, 2 estates. I guess that defends against this thing we were talking about, right? I mean, this is just province if we discard Smithy. And probably it should be just province. Yeah. Now we'll see if I Conspirator die. I don't actually know what this card is. I'm not going to bother figuring it out, because it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to hope it's a villa. I have absolutely no clue. If it's a villa, I probably win. Well, I don't know about probably, but if it's a villa, I probably don't die immediately. So this is 10. Right now, that does not do me a whole lot, does it? No. I just buy province plus estate, probably. Yeah. Plus estate, definitely. It maybe puts things in range, but I kind of doubt it. You see Animal Fair last turn? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so now if we hit 10 again, we will win, and this hand has an okay chance. And if we miss 10, we buy province, and we're also in pretty decent position. Well, assuming I get to whatever number. What is this? It's freaking 9 again. Seriously? Alright, well, we buy province and we're pretty happy with things. May end up top decking 0 Smithies. The decks have gotten appropriately ugly. I guess you've trashed a lot of stuff for Animal Fairs. I'm really happy to have this gold. This time I have like 0 faith at all that I will hit province. But we could put 1 on top. No, this is just going to win, right? 2. Okay. We get there. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I was first player. I don't know how much that had to do with anything. It was just kind of a random whatever at the end, where I don't think there was really anything anybody could claim to have done that was better or worse. Well, this game, I mean, the opening seems clear. We're opening Bonfire Remake. Longer term, what happens? We have villages, we have bridge troll, we have draw. I guess the draw is kind of optional there, but we have villages, we have bridge trolls, so that's probably going to be most of it. I guess you like want to feather in some flagship or tragic hero, I don't know. There's potential for you like not having to necessarily hit 5 a bunch because of flagship, but you know, you do have to hit it some. There will be a question on the remake, what we gain with it, given Way of the Squirrel. It might still be just like silver snowy. The other option would be like double snowy, imagining that you're going to Way of the Squirrel more, I guess, but I'm not sure that that's really true. Or maybe the first one does do double snowy. If you have a 2/5, that would be bad for you. Like the idea with double snowy is like we're going to be pretty thin at that point anyways, right? So like the chances of colliding all 3 are not 0, especially like if we're thinking maybe we're going to squirrel a snowy on some other turn. Yeah. Maybe buy silver. Oh, darn. You don't have the 2/5. Alright, well, this is not going to be a consideration. We'll just take the snowy. So I'm definitely a touch behind here. And we just take the snowy because it gives us kind of the best chance of, well, this. So this will be snowy silver. This should be a like bonfire again, I'm pretty sure. Do I even have the ability to hit 5 right now? Like, what is this? This is snowy 2 coppers. I mean, we can take flagship. It's just next turn. Right. I'm just considering, like, maybe this should actually be double silver. Because how else am I hitting my numbers? Well, we can remake into whatever. Oh no, I have 10. This can be another snowy. Alright, not 10, I have 6. That's what I was trying to say. This is probably gonna end up squirreling the remake and, like, buying Bridge Troll or something. I guess it sort of depends. Well, no, it's gonna hit 5. It's just a matter of, do I take it? I imagine the answer is yes. The other option is, like, I see a snowy and then I don't know what. I'm definitely a little bit behind on having stuff. Hopefully this draws the remake and we're able to, like, double squirrel some stuff. I have, like, a snowy over a flagship, which is so not amazing. Actually, what I need is I need you to have missed your Bridge Troll. No, okay, that is not the case. And I guess we can take a flagship. Like, do we want to try to flagship a Bridge Troll? This is suddenly looking very bad for me. Because, like, now you can take Bridge Troll flagship and maybe you're good. I mean, you don't have a lot of squirrels out, but at the same time, I don't know. Okay. That's a remake? Do I want an extra buy? Really? Not, like, amazingly so. I mean, we can take another Bridge Troll. Do we want to get through the remake, I guess is the next question. Maybe? We're both carrying the same amount of copper, right? Like, I'm not going insane. Okay. I mean, this can buy Bridge Troll. You know, it's just like, do I want to have a remake on top or not? I don't really know. Does it want to buy Bridge Troll? Most certainly. I can actually remake 2 coppers and have a flagship, and then what? I squirrel something with the flagship, and then I can squirrel Bridge Troll. Maybe that's okay. Alright, I've convinced myself to do something now. I do not know how Bridge Troll works. That's what we're finding out here. Alright, let's just take our second Bridge Troll, because we're going to need it to remake productively. Most of what we learned there is I don't know how Bridge Troll works. It's probably like all the Bridge Troll we actually want. Like, from here on, we kind of just want to do it with Flagship. But man, I hope I top deck a Snowy rather than a Copper. Having fewer things definitely seems to be a bad position to be in. I'm just gonna admit, like, I do not think that I'm winning this game. Even like with this turn. Well, that was a good sign. It's still not, fantastic. So here's probably a Flagship. Yeah. No extra Snowy to go with it. And then what? We're going to hope to Flagship a Bridge Troll and then remake and still be able to squirrel some stuff. I don't really know how my stuff advantage is doing, or theoretical stuff advantage is doing. I wonder if you almost want Rabble over Tragic Hero just so that your draw doesn't disappear on you. I mean, you're kind of happy to have Rice, so I don't think it matters that much. But I also am looking like I kind of need a Farmhands, right? Might be. We might go like Flagship Farmhands here instead of whatever else it is we're considering. I don't even know what else we would be considering, but I'm imagining it. I mean, if I get the amazing draw, we can do that. There are lots of possibilities that is not the draw that I have. I'm just gonna point out. Okay, you do not want to lose your hero. That's interesting. I'd have definitely wanted to lose this hero. Maybe like a Rice seems okay. Okay, maybe not that okay, but you know. Alright, if I top decked my Flagship, that's amazing. If I didn't top deck my Flagship, I don't know if we're going to go for a 1 out of 2 on this stuff. If I top deck my Flagship, we're going to say that, like, something is seriously smiling on me today, because that would be totally amazing and completely unbelievable. I mean, last turn I top deck my Snowy. It can happen, right? It's a 1 out of 3 chance. It was actually like higher than that before I drew this hand, right? Right? I mean, plausibly we're doing this on that side anyways. You do not want more Bridge Troll. I guarantee you don't want more Bridge Troll. Like, it's just worse than Flagship. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Alright. What are we even doing here? Squirrel. I guess we're buying Flagship in hopes that we can do a little bit better this next turn. I guess okay, I actually was not correct about the Flagship or the buy Bridge Troll over Flagship thing. The thing that Bridge Troll does you over Flagship is that you're able to order your buys in a potentially favorable fashion. Or able to order your cost reduction in a potentially favorable fashion. Oh, am I just losing? No, not immediately, at least. But it is something for us to make note of. We will have to count buys carefully. Because these things are getting to the point where we're going to have some potential for, like, remaking some stuff into Bridge Trolls and then winning. Because we have, like, we're going to have 3 buys start of turn. 4, 5, potentially 6, 7, 8. We have up to 8 buys. I don't know how much money is going to come with that. But we have up to 8 buys, and we're going to be able to remake, like, Copper Farmhands. into bridge trolls and potentially have enough money after that to win. Assuming there's no greening that takes place right here. So it's a clean possibility. And it could be a really tragic mistake that would happen, but that's snowy plus, God, I don't know. Copper? I guess it's copper. Yeah, I topped it copper. This last turn. Copper silver. Because I had the amazing draw where I drew my flagship for some reason. Alright, well, let's see what you do. I have 8, I'm going to have 10 gains, so the question is going to end up being like, how much money can I produce with that? Plausibly not enough to beat a province. Though we may, I mean, if there's a tie, we'll take it. I don't think there's going to be a tie. So I'm just going to have, what, 5 coins? And province can cost 4. Yeah. Which means we're going to need tragic heroes. Okay. Good idea, maybe. I don't know. Okay, this is just a full setup for next turn, and I mean, you'll win. This is not. There's no doubt. So we have 6 coins, which will turn into 5, and 8 buys. Oh wait, Farmhands is down. We remake a bunch of stuff into flagships. I don't have the draw. Like, we can draw 1 card. So I don't think that there's a dud that can happen over there that will make this at all possible. I'm also talking about having 10 gains when there's freaking 11 cards in the piles. So that's probably not actually going to be working. Just going to point out. What we need is we need tragic heroes. Yeah. Oh, I have 2 flagships. Gosh dang. I didn't know that. Where do I have 2 flagships from? Well, I wasn't going to be able to do the remake thing anyway, so that doesn't really matter. I guess we put them all on Bridge Troll. And then we squirrel both of these. Like, I still had 11 games. It was not going to happen. I mean, I can take 2 provinces. I don't think that does me a whole lot. Tragic heroes. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm just toast. But for the cases where I'm not, what are we doing? Probably province. Well, we need 1 province, I think. And then I guess, like, some tragic heroes. Yeah, like one Farmhands. Like, if this is somehow not drawing enough, plausibly, the Farmhands is okay to take. Maybe another province, and, like, 2 tragic heroes. Maybe 3. I don't know. I mean, we're going to have a lot of start-a-turn draw, so we're going to see stuff. It's just the question is, like, how otherwise screwed am I? The answer is I'm very otherwise screwed. Duchy? Sure, why not? Okay, this should be a straightforward win for you. Yeah. Alright. Well, we kind of saw that coming. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't think that ended up being very winnable. Him being second player and then the remake start was not favorable. Village Inventor is what I'm seeing here. I would like a rice broker early. I guess we're gonna open Silver Inventor. I mean, we're gonna open Silver something. It might actually be Militia over Inventor. I'm thinking, like, a Root Cellar will be the Root Cellar or Rice Broker will be the draw. Probably more Rice Broker than Root Cellar. And so, like, do we get some major advantage out of hitting 5-4? Yeah, probably. Could we also take Inventor and potentially, you know, be able to take, you know, good stuff? Maybe. More stuff, like Farmhands could potentially defend you against Militia. Right. You see your stuff anyway. Yeah, right. I'm convinced. Oh, okay. This is going to be summoning, I think, an Inventor. Because chances are we get to, like, do Rice Broker anyways. I guess we could also summon a Militia, but summoning an Inventor I think makes a lot of sense. We can invent, like, Farmhands plus Rice Broker, which is a very good draw. Maybe. I'm not actually that guaranteed to see, like... I mean, I'm not guaranteed to see the Inventor, but let's pretend like I am. Okay, I'm very happy with how things are going. Exceedingly so. I mean, you can also summon into this hand. And then I guess we just see whose summoning is better. I don't want a Root Cellar here. No, I guess we can buy the Root Cellar. Yeah. Nice broker. We're gonna buy Root Cellar in hopes to just see the stuff a little quicker. I'm gonna go Farmhands here. I'm gonna go Farmhands. We could buy another Root Cellar. That's not the worst thing. Move the silver over for getting, you know, whatever by the Root Cellar. Or we could just have everything miss. That would be unlovely. Another Rice Broker. No more Root Cellars for... Well, actually, I'm not really playing this for money, am I? We're going to go into so much debt. And it'll be wonderful. Okay, I'm convinced. I'm not, like, thrilled with what the militias are going to do to me, but at the same time, like, let's just play our cards. I guess one problem with the root cellars is, like, if I don't end up with a bunch of inventors, what happens? Not good things. But on the other hand, okay, I'll summon an inventor into this. Ooh, gross. Well, I'm gonna just take multiple Farmhandses. I can bring a rice broker over. Kind of want to get inventors is the thing, right? Like, I guess our minds might end up being kind of made up for us by like a militia play. I do want, these two inventors kind of badly. Is part of this issue I'm facing. I mean, there's supposed to be like stuff here that I actually wanted to write. I mean, I was supposed to find the root cellars. That's what was supposed to happen here that didn't. So if we just play for these last two inventors, what are we doing here? We're rice brokering rice broker, or are we just taking the two inventors? I mean, I think we're better off trying to do something with the turn. Even if it is not my favorite thing ever. Or maybe we do just take the two inventors. We just take the two inventors. We're going to trash an estate and take two inventors. We have the root cellars coming in next turn. Okay. You could also summon this inventor, which would not make me particularly happy, but then I just Farmhands instead. Okay. So we will just Farmhands this one and grab that. Maybe trash a root cellar over copper. Could also trash a state. I'm up with 5 inventors, which is not really where I want it to be at, but oh well. Okay, Militia's coming in, starting next turn. We want to put in Abundant, Militia, probably Militia. I could take a Farmhands here to like next turn this root cellar. I don't really know what that does for me. Well, the other option is play the root cellar and basically just have more stuff. Put more inventor plays. Kind of like that idea. Okay, we did not get more inventor plays. That was definitely not what happened there. We just take more rice brokers and then like another root cellar and I don't know, hope for the best for next turn. The other option is Abundances. I kind of do need another Farmhands. It won't let me pay off all the debt this turn, but whatever. Just pay off 8. Okay, that was expected. This would be an okay shuffle. I hope. I'm getting pretty low. We may think about taking an engineer. May very much think about taking an engineer. I'm going to also set aside this rice broker and buy engineer. Farmhands, set aside rice broker, buy engineer. Things are getting really low though. I'm kind of worried, like, if you have a next turn, do you just win? Maybe. And bring things down to 4. That's too low for me. So maybe we like Inventor and Abundance, a Root Cellar. I guess a Root Cellar by Engineer. And just hope that this next turn functions okay enough. We may just be dead also. If I can't draw my draw, I'm gonna have some problems. Okay, well, that's a sign that I'm not dead. It's just this hand isn't exactly amazing. Right. The other thing the Engineer does is it basically gives me the opportunity to rice broker an Inventor. Yeah. So I should have 5 Inventors, 1 Engineer, which gives me 7 gains. And if that reduces to 6, maybe it's okay. Not feeling great. Well, especially out of this hand is most of why I'm not feeling great. I'm gonna admit. I don't know if that's really an admission, it's just a statement of fact. Like this is not a good starting hand. You take a duchy, I can't be trashing the Inventor. We also want to be trashing silver to one of the rice brokers we have. I don't actually know how many that is, whether it's 3 or 4. Genuinely have no idea. Would be another good thing to know. I know we have plenty of root cellars, like 4 of them. So those can probably be trashed. Okay, it's a duchy, and it's going to be a summon, a rice broker. Oh, things are low. But I'm not going to draw. No, I am going to draw. Maybe. Okay. If we're winning, we're trashing this militia. That is not a concern. Okay, we're gonna trash the silver. How many Inventors do I actually have? This is frightening. I mean, this just wins though, right? Like, I can just gain the things and be happy. Like, let's not worry about what's down there. Yeah, okay. Maybe there were 2 Inventors, maybe there were 1, I don't know. There were 2, doesn't matter, there was the win. I had my Engineer, everything was good. I mean, I just barely drew that last It was frightening, but we did draw, so who cares? Alright. Village, draw, collection. Colonies, but collection. Shrine Spice Merchant. That seems ridiculously clear. Like, I don't think that there's anything else that's at all reasonable off of at least this 3-4, off of 4-3. Maybe you think about Spice Merchant Ghost Town. You can turtle the shrine if things look ugly on whichever turn you see it. Like if you see it turn 3 with 3 coppers and an estate, you turtle it and you buy Ghost Town, and you're pretty happy about that. I guess the one thing I'm seeing about collection here is that you potentially, I mean, it's actually your plus buy, so I was going to say you potentially like aren't scoring a ton with it because there's not like a lot of great things to gain, maybe Innkeeper, but it's your plus buy, so you'll have plenty of them. The village being, you know, this, although these probably pile and you don't really need a village then because Paddock. Anyways. I'm pretty happy. Or not happy, but I'm not, like... I mean, I'm happy. I've won 3 games, right? You go into a league match, you win 3 games, you gotta be happy. I'm happy. I know the state of my state of mind is very important. Okay, so I know like whenever you play 2 coppers like this that you have a third one and you're just deciding what to buy because that's what you've done this entire time. And you're definitely not buying a state here. There's like no possibility of that. So right now you're, I guess, debating whether to get a secluded shrine or what. Go after Ghost Town, try to hit 5 for what? Sculptor, maybe? No, it's 4. Surprise! I mean, I think this is a hard decision. Like, the 4 was obviously Spice Merchant, but since you had the 4-3, there's a decent possibility that you, like, much prefer Ghost Town because you can maybe that way, like, hit 5 without getting Shrine, get up to Sculptor, gain the Shrine, and then... that doesn't make much sense, does it? Alright, I think you're opening Shrine. I've concluded. Yeah. Alright, well, this'll be a silver trashing 2 estates. We were talking about the turtle thing. Turtle thing is not happening. We have our 2 estates to trash, so we're gonna trash them. I guess eventually the shrine just goes into, like, forever turtle. Alright, we do not hit 5, that's fine. We're gonna trash and take a Ghost Town. Right. Yeah. If I get to clear out, I might actually get to take a collection here. That'd be kind of amazing. Clear out this estate. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, depending on what you want to buy, okay, you're pretty happy with the things that are at. I guess you haven't trashed an extra estate, and that turn's not amazing. Now there's a Spice Merchant in there. It's fine. I think this should be a Paddock. Okay, this will be a collection for me, though. Like, there is no way you do anything other than that. I would like to hit 5 this turn, so I am going to play the Shrine by Paddock. Do we actually want to? Do we even want Sculptor now? Maybe not. Yeah. Alright, we are going to see everything, and life is grand. I don't know that we're really going to invest too much in collection. I mostly just want to like keep getting Ghost Town Paddock pairs. I don't even really want to keep getting Ghost Town Paddock pairs. I really just want to get Paddocks, but it's going to be hard to play the Paddocks without the Ghost Towns for a while. And you still have not managed to trash estates, which is absolutely awful for you. But this is just Ghost Town Paddock. There is nothing else reasonable to do. The other thing you can do is you can kind of keep buying Paddocks and like turtle them. I don't know. We could clear out some extra copper here. I guess I do need a Ghost Town. So maybe this goes like Ghost Town Collection, trash 2 coppers. Yeah. As much as I don't like giving up the 1 point, like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do there. I mean, I have to buy the Ghost Town in order to be able to play 2 Paddocks this next turn, so that's what's going to happen. And at some point we'll be able to, like, turtle out the Spice Merchant, maybe turtle out the Shrine. Is it better to turtle the Shrine? Like, well, we'll see if I need the coin. I don't actually know how much money I have, which you can fault me for sure. I'm going to get the last 2 estates here. There are just 2 coppers left. One of them is definitely mine. There is a possibility that I, like, save it for next turn, I guess. I'm thinking... Well, I only have the 1 action this turn. We'll see how much money there is around. Like, I don't know, do I, like, buy spare warehouses, spare shrines? Like, we can always turtle them. We need a few more ghost towns to do that, but, like, we're gonna have 2 next turn. I don't know that I'm that into, like, investing a ton into ghost town, because, well, there's Paddock, and, you know, presumably Paddock is gonna be non-terminal, but well, one has to assume. Okay, well, there's both the Paddocks. What is that card? That is a silver? No, that is a copper. Maybe. In any case, I'm hitting 10 if I trash. And 10 is going to be Paddock Collection, or just double Paddock? Maybe just double Paddock. In which case... Oh, it's a horse. Well, whatever. Let's go Paddock Collection. I don't know how we're going to play these things. I mean, we'll play them once Paddock becomes non-terminal, right? That's going to happen. Definitely the thing that's going to happen. I need a ghost town this turn, which is, I guess, part of why we picked up the collection. This is fine. I think I just topped up 2 horses. Ghost town, and then just take 2 Paddocks. Like, what else is there to do? I mean, we don't have the, I guess, firepower to whatever, but, like, if I have some dead Paddocks for a little bit, that's okay. I will happily empty Paddock. mean, I got the... If I win this game, I end up attributing most of it to just being able to trash 2 estates right away. Like, if I end up with 7 Paddocks, I'm quite happy. You know? Even if I end up with 6, I'm quite happy. Right? So, that's why I'm, like, totally okay taking more stuff than I have terminal space for there. Because, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna want to buy at least one of those, right? And how many buys do you have over there right now? 4? How many points? Like, I don't think that piles are really a concern over here. That is a lot of money. I think it was just 14. Alright, never mind. It's not a lot of money. You should just take the last Paddock. Seriously. Just take it. Like, am I over-terminaled? Yes. But do you have enough to play all those? Sure. But, like, I'll just take mine, and then what good do all your villages do you? They don't. I mean, this is a one-turn deal, right? Then I have more Paddocks than you, which is awesome. Alright. Yeah, we'll have to think a little bit about gains, but I think we're going to be okay. Because, like, you'd be gaining collections in Ghost Town, right? This is all I ever wanted in my turn, I think. Do we just stop? Plausibly. When we draw, we could draw more Paddocks, that wouldn't be very pleasant. Let's just take Paddock plus Platinum. I mean, you can pile this stuff, but I don't think that's a win. Unless I've dreadfully miscalculated. You have one extra buy, like you'd have to buy all that stuff and a colony. It's not happening. I guess you have the Sculptor. So you have 2 buys with 4 collections. It's maybe closer than I should have let it be, but it's okay. I think you max out at 11 points, if I'm not missing anything. That's my opinion anyways. You could gain a trader, and then you would be stuck at 5 buys. Yeah. Anyways, my opinion is that you are short by a point, which is kind of the intention. This isn't like some magical thing that happened. I mean, it was. I wasn't really thinking about the Sculptor game, but nonetheless. And can you even hit 18? Yeah, I guess so. 4 collections, 2 silvers. Yeah, you can hit 18, but you should be a point short. Even then, you can't buy whatever extra. And we're going to go into colonies, and things will be fine for me. Be able to do some strategic horse top decking. Never dud. I'm going to keep the Spice Merchant around, probably. Extra gain. I might also just be able to win right here, like, regardless of what you do. Because, like, I mean, this win is just as available to me. Like, so actually what you need to do is you need to outscore me, or you need to score enough. Because I only have 3 collections in the Spice Merchant. But, that is enough to take these. I mean, I do have the money, I think. Maybe I don't. No, I do, because I bought the platinum. Man, I hope I didn't leave anything. You gotta be a point short. Gotta be. There's no remodels. No. There's no return to your action phases. No. If there's a return to your action phase, I really hope I would have noticed by now. I kind of forgot about the Sculptor, so this is maybe closer than I would have liked, but it's still not there all the way. So it's fine. Plus, you don't have the money for it anyways. You're at 20. I do have a mild concern that this Sculptor is going to allow you to payload ramp in a way that I can't. Just gaining silver. Sure. But we should be perfectly consistent, so like maybe I can add a Sculptor of my own, add a Trader of my own. Alright, you're looking for a little bit more money. $23, so the expectation that there's going to be like 2 colonies, maybe? No, you're going to outscore in this fashion. Okay, that seems probably reasonable. Alright, I'm going to play both of these, although it's probably not entirely necessary. Alright, then we play the 4 of these. Play 1 of these. Turtle this, turtle this. How much money are we looking at then? Well, you're still going to have the same thing as next turn, so I do have to have more than 8 more than you. But I do really want this Trader. So I guess we can go like Trader, Colony, Province. This would be Sculptor over Trader. I mean, I think this is the lead I need. And then it's just a question of everything else. Actually, I don't want to do the Spice Merchant. Right. Because I need to have the ability to have that extra gain. Yeah. Okay. I think this is a substantial enough lead. Maybe? I mean, I like keeping the Spice Merchant around just because it does represent that gain. I guess I actually didn't have to worry about that particular win this time around. Just a note. Yeah, we'll see what happens over there. This isn't going to allow you to set up very well for next turn. You gain a lot of silver. I mean, we're going to do some, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be sculpting for trader. I just don't want to, I mean, I didn't want to turtle the Spice Merchant because I want to maintain the ability to have 5 buys. Right. Look, I don't think there should be a win here for you. Our payload ad from here is going to be sculpting a trader and then playing Paddock for silvers. I don't know how far that's going to get us, or like if we're going to end up having enough draw long term, or whatever else other concerns there are. But we'll just have it in our pocket as a thing that we can do. For harder payload ramp. At this point you have 5 buys. You have the Sculptor gain and you have 5 buys. So, I don't know what they're going to look like. You also don't really have the same ability I do to like, you know, whatever. I can play the Shrine and the traders in exchange, but I'm not going to because I don't know what I'm actually going to do at the end of this turn. You don't have a lot of horses left. Like, this is 7 horses. I'm carrying most of them. Your draw next turn looks bad. I think I'm actually carrying 12 horses. We have 7 here, and I think I had like 5 in hand at the end of last turn. Not actually gonna count. I'm pretty sure you're pretty doomed for next turn. Which is, I mean, that's why I wanted the 6th Paddock, right? Like, more draw is better. $29. Oof. That was a lot of money. So yeah, I think you're carrying 1 horse. I think that's the only horse you have. Just gonna say. You need a point lead. That shouldn't be an issue. I actually need more than a point lead, because now I have this Ghost Town collection possibility, although I don't know that I'm going to have anywhere close to enough money for that. So I'm stuck at like 11. No, that doesn't make 11. That makes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 25. So my maximum, if I do this, is a duchy. I mean, you can't be playing for a dud from me. There's no way. Okay, well, I don't think we can win here anymore. But that is a lot of Sculptor. It's actually a really uncomfortable amount of Sculptor, but at the same time, I don't think you can draw. So, who cares? Okay. I'm going to Sculptor for Trader. I think this is another horse, so that'll give me an idea of how many horses you're actually carrying. Just to make sure there's no win on 25 coins now. That was not a horse, okay. How many horses do we feel like we need to top deck? I'm up to 27 right now. What can I buy? Colony. Third colony's not in the cards, I don't think. Colony. Province costs 28. I should be up to that. We top deck 9 horses. Seriously? Oh man. I can't turtle this trader, so I'm gonna have to like click a whole bunch, but oh well. So it's going to be colony, province. I have enough money for that. This is 12. 16, 18, 29. Yeah, so I have enough money for that. So let's just top deck our horses. Don't want to trader any of this. Don't want to lose the Spice Merchant. Just want to buy colony, province. Hope there's enough draw for next turn. Yeah. I guess we'd go like double warehouse instead, or Innkeeper warehouse. That actually might be a little bit better than province. It'll have to be better than province because I can't count worth a damn. Alright, whatever. It's fine. I wonder if Innkeepers are getting too low. You have 20. You can gain 1. Let me think about this Innkeeper for a second, whether it should actually be a warehouse. You have 4 collections, now you have 3 Sculptors. So, I mean, you could definitely pile Innkeeper if you drew all the way. without help. So probably I should not be giving that help. So this should be warehouse. Warehouse? Warehouse scavenger? I mean, warehouse makes things a little bit easier, right? But I think you have the coins anyways. At that point, you do just kind of win. Alright, so if you have a miracle draw, you'll win. I don't know how much of a miracle it would be. You have 3 ghost towns, you have a horse sitting on the mat. I mean, this is what I was comfortable doing from a consistency perspective. I wonder if I probably could have extracted a couple more silvers, but like at the same time, like if you drew 3 colonies was going to be there. But like right now, I think this is plausibly the end of your draw, and so now it's just a matter of like what do you actually have. Yeah, warehouse, second warehouse wasn't particularly good. Like in the case where you're not drawing all the way, like how much money are you producing? Like I was worried about you piling innkeepers more easily, but now I've made warehouses just as easy and it's a little bit cheaper. I don't know. I mean, you're not... I mean, you could scavenger the horse on top, but I think it would take some amount of luck from here for you. Okay, that is definitely a sign that this is not going to happen this turn. Well, I guess you're still going to try for it. We'll do enough horses. I don't feel so good. Well, no, you're going to be short buys. You're going to be short buys at this point because you don't have enough Sculptor to do it. I mean, you can sculpt the 2 ghost towns, and then you only have 5 buys from the collections. So... I think we're pretty safe on that front, and then this turn I can maybe take 4 colonies. Emphasis on maybe. I don't know if that's actually at all true. I mean, we'll be able to do this trick also, the Sculptor Scavenger thing. The other thing I have is that I can potentially take like Ghost Town 3 collections and I am still limited to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gains. So like although you can't win and I can't, like, fathom how you would continue to draw. Maybe it's okay. I'm getting kind of to the edge of my draw as well, I guess. We have the warehouses now, which will kind of mix things up from where I've been. If I had a lot more draw, 4 colonies would be in range, but I don't think I have that much at this point. We'll see. 44 is probably a little out of the question, seeing as I was actually at 27 this last turn. I'd need to gain like 8 silvers, that'd be 4 Paddocks worth. Yikes. I guess like 3 Paddocks worth and we trade her a colony or something. And well, we could also just trade her the colony. Trading a colony gets you 22 coins, or trading a province gets you 16 coins. That's in realm of possibilities. I'm going to play the Shrine. Just because I think I may be looking... Oh, crap. You can do it. You can do collections and 2 things. Well, you can do collections, colony, and a thing. Yeah. Crap. Alright. Oh well. I did not properly defend. Four collections is a winner. Or you're just going for it and going to fail. That's the other possibility here. I guess you're targeting like three collections, a colony, and an action. That takes you 30. That takes you 30. I don't think so. I'm skeptical that you have that much money. $15, 20, no, it only takes you 29. I lied. Yeah, how much do you redraw? Let's find out. You did increase by 2. Yeah, not looking great. Oh, now it's looking very bad, in fact. Yeah, you actually do have that amount of money. Alright. I lost. Crap. That was not the one I was expecting. Okay. Well, that sucks. I don't think I should have lost that game. I should have figured out how to take some extra silver. Is what should have happened. Alright, what's going on here? Well, we're skipping City Quarter, or not City Quarter, we're skipping Scrying Pool. This does not look like an amazing 2-5. You can go like Sleigh Groom, or Search In, or something Groom. I feel like we do want the Groom. I would really like to have been opening, I think, Amulet. Although Groom's not actually that fantastic, is it? Well, it's okay. It's just... Yeah. The idea with Sleigh Groom would be maybe we're going to top deck an Amulet. I don't think you want a ton of Grooms, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I mean, I think this should be Sleigh. And then this has, like, a ridiculous number of options. We could also go, like, in right now. No, that's not going to shuffle trigger, is it? No. It's not very good. So this is probably going to be a Groom. And then we take an Amulet off the Groom. If they collide like this, which is amazing, we can top deck the Amulet. Buy City Quarter? No. No. Well, maybe we should have. I don't know. Trash an estate. I take cargo ship. Be okay. I don't know that, like... We have a lot of kind of ugly collision cases, but let's stick an inn in here now with the horses. Seems good. Oh man, what is this? Discarding my Groom? These people. It's alright, we want this shuffle kind of badly, in fact. What are we doing? Yeah, I'd like to cargo ship over a city quarter. Which case probably do something like this. I kind of like to have horses also. Which means maybe do something like... I mean, I should trash an estate, right? Trash an estate, bring over the city quarter. Alright, I'm convinced. I don't know that the city... No, the city quarter will do me a little bit. That's nice. Alright. I'm trashing copper, surely. Could groom another cargo ship. I think we're buying another city quarter. That seems correct. I guess we could also take start taking searches. It's maybe better if we want to get the plus buy out of stuff. Yeah. And I would like my plus buy. Vagrant. Pay off debt, search. Pay off. Okay. Let's really hope I don't get my another city quarter flipped. That would stink. It's gonna happen. Because there's also some horses in here. It going into the next shuffle isn't the worst thing ever. And the main thing is I kind of need to find a village, right? Vagrant should be able to draw a Vagrant. That's my opinion for the day. We're playing this without Pool, which is maybe not the most amazing idea, but that's what the split wanted. I could have one more coin had I not accounted for the drawing the amulet. That was probably actually pretty dumb, I admit. Not smart, whatever you want to call it. Let's burn that. Okay. Play this. I guess we're playing Amulet. Are we? That's gotta be the best thing I can do. We missed a village, but that's okay. We'll pull the city quarter over. I don't have horses. Actually, maybe I don't play the cargo ship. Cargo ship's what I'm going to not play. Because I do really want these horses. We can top deck whatever with whatever. We can top deck the city quarter. I'm kind of tiring out here. Do we want to pull? I think we need to pull the city quarter over because that's a lot of garbage. Like there's two coppers. So then the question is, do I actually play the Amulet or do I like play Sleigh and get my horses in deck? I think we're playing Sleigh and getting the horses in deck. And then we're going to pull the city quarter over. Okay. Pulling the city quarter over seems more consistency inducing than, well, anything else. Any of the other options. I do need to trash a little bit more. I do need to get some more searches. These are all things that need to happen, but oh well. I think Spool is just too awkward to buy. Like, you need to be buying your villages one way or the other. You can't groom for them. So that's probably what you're facing right now. Like, look, you discarded your potion. The best you can do this turn is buy a city quarter. Maybe that's okay. But at the same time, you are discarding a potion. So it doesn't seem amazingly amazing. We want to gain a search this turn, or what? So we have 1, 2, 3 terminals to play right now, so I can actually gain a Groom right here. Draw it. Question is, do we want to search or do we want another cargo ship? Kind of like another cargo ship a bit more, just to max out my consistency. And then we'll be like getting multiple searches next turn. Yeah. Maybe a little bit conservative. Pull the cargo ship over, or pull the city quarter over. Good thing we did. No, I do need to continue to trash out some of this copper. We should be looking okay-ish next turn. I wonder what the pace, or what I'm supposed to play first here, whether it's city quarter or horse. I can't imagine drawing like 2 coppers. Maybe that's really wrong, but I don't know. Do not like seeing those go by. I mean, it is a concern. Yeah, I'm a little bit less consistent just because I am. We're going to gain and try to, or we're going to try. We're going to try to gain and play 2 searches here. Okay. Successfully, I might add. Whoops. That was like terrible. I just have to play that first. I'm doing the same thing. Okay, pull the city quarter over. Pay it off completely. We're gonna get into like a weird dancey thing. I don't know, like, you can gain and play 2 searches this turn, but then I get mine first and city quarters pile fast enough, and you know, you take like one search, and then pause. Maybe take like one search and one Groom. But I have to take searches. Don't feel good. Okay, you took a second search. Bless you. That was a mistake. Yeah, that was just like straight up bad. That was really wrong. That should not have been done. That should have been a search and a Groom. I promise. I promise that should have been a search and a Groom. And then we play our buy lot plus buy lottery. I have to gain and play a search. Alright. Played too many horses. It's alright. Okay. Search. Draw. Play. Gain. Search. Okay, we got at least one buy. Okay, we got 2 buys, we got 3 buys, and we got 4 buys, although Chalice is not ideal. Figurehead, sword, sexton, amphora, hammer. Alright, that's not the worst thing ever. I don't exactly love you having the hammer, but whatever. I have to play that. That was out of order again. Amulet. What are we doing with it? Trashing? Maybe still. I'm gonna buy City Quarter and some Province. I'll actually buy 2 City Quarters. I don't know. I'll trash with this one. You can go like Province, City Quarter, City Quarter. Just pull one over. Do some cats. I don't have to be playing searches anymore. Could actually take another amulet. And be gaining silver. I'm gonna take another Groom. Actually, I'm gonna take another Groom and then 2 City Quarters. I think that's safe. Is that safe? You have 2 Grooms, you have all this buy. There's no way that's safe. I need another Province. Hold this City Quarter. Like, you can possibly pile Groom this turn. Not a real issue I'm facing. I mean, I had to do it, it's just, I think you can pile Groom. Maybe you don't have enough village. That's my only real hope. I can pile Groom and win. Maybe I didn't have to pull the City Quarter over. This Chalice sucks. Can find one loot to complain about. I still think you have a win on Groom plus City Quarter this turn. like zeroed out. I should have pulled the city quarter. I should have pulled an inn or something. Yeah. I just hoped I was consistent enough. This is too cheap. Groom plus city quarter. So you have plenty of village. You don't have to be gaining and playing the searches. Yeah, I followed up your mistake with a mistake of my own, which was buying that city quarter. This is a win. Let's see if you take the grooms. This is definitely a win. Crap. Oh well. I was going like, oh, I'm gonna do this groom thing and it's gonna be amazing. And that's just not right. Although I guess you'd be able to do this probably if I hadn't taken the second province, so it's not like I could take an inn instead. I guess what I needed to take was like 2 cats. No city quarter. Can't set aside anything. Could set aside a horse. At some point. Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to win. I have no doubts. Let's see if you go after it or not. I had to not buy the city quarter. That's it. Like, you can't do that. Things are too low. And you definitely have the village space. You have 3 city quarters and an inn, so you can play enough grooms, and then you definitely have enough of this stuff up here. That is not going after the win. Okay. Well, hopefully you draw. You definitely had a win. You might still, like, cargo now. You might still, but I think you definitely had a win here on grooms plus city quarter. And now it's not going to be remote. I don't think there's enough. Well, there's enough village still, potentially. I mean, maybe you can still go after grooms. Like, you got hammer, so I can't imagine you not having the gains for the groom thing. Now it's just a question of how much village there is. There's 1 more city quarter and there's 1 more inn, so you can play 2 more grooms. Then pile grooms, buy 2 provinces. City quarter should have been really straightforward. I think I would have. I mean, I figured. I saw it because I was stupid and bought the city quarter and then immediately regretted it, but no, I don't think it's going to be that way for you or there for you anymore. Okay, this is just whatever the hell I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say something about money. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe you're going to do it on cargo ships? I don't know. There's a lot of money over there. And for a figurehead. I mean, I'm piling Groom. I am winning this turn. This next turn. It is going to happen. You can curse me once. I promise you, I will win. I mean, I hope to keep that promise, but yeah, you definitely could have done the Grooms and provinces and a city quarter. I mean, I'm not even going to be looking at anything else. Like, there's no other options. I will have to win this turn, no matter what you do. Alright, we're grooming for Grooms. I think you definitely had a win on your last turn. Probably go back and check, but yeah, I think I should have done better in the 5th game. I don't know, I may have just needed to buy another collection at some point. But other than that, I mean, I'm happy with a 4-2. I probably should have ended up losing this one, so we each made our respective major mistakes. Yeah, I'll and I'm happy to have the little victory, and just keep putting those together and get to face Mick again or whoever else, and that'll be nice. So see you all.